YouTube. Decided to do a video of journey on Lexapro, my life on Lexapro. So I've always been an anxious person, always had a low level of anxiety. In 1997, when my father had cancer, I suffered an exergonic depression because I went home to take care of him and I experienced severe anxiety, panic attacks, etc. Well, I went on at that time Paxil after he died for about 6 months until I came out of the depression, just dealing with coping with caring for a dying father at the age of 21. It was about 6 months that I was on it. You know, years passed on. I got off of it and, 20 years went by. Kind of runs in my family and always had a low hum of anxiety. This is our second or third move in like 5 years with the family. Just was completely overwhelmed with stress. 4 small kids running across the country, and we moved here, and a few weeks after we moved here, I got a horrible virus. We have a history of inner ear issues in my family. My father's had Meniere's disease, and the virus attacked my inner ear on my left side and also left me with, sometimes they call it post-viral syndrome, where I had terrible muscle, I think they say fasciculations or something like that, where I twitched all over. The vertigo was debilitating, and with vertigo, horrible vertigo, comes severe anxiety. And I'm not just talking about nervousness. I'm talking about, I even had agoraphobia, wanting to go pick up my kids, where I would have panic attacks in line. Because of the inner ear issue, I had depth perception problems. It attacked my vision. I would feel like my body was vibrating. It was crazy. I would get up in the middle of the night and take showers. And even to this day, months and months later, I still have some twitches in my muscles. I still have some remnants of it, some vertigo, but nothing like it was, thank God. Because the anxiety after like 3-4 months was still prevalent and debilitating to me. I had prayed that God would give me a sign that it was okay, because they wanted me to take Lexapro right away to deal with the anxiety related to the ear, because they find that there's a connection, and once they get that to come down, vertigo calms down. I just did not want to do it. I believed, and if you follow me, you know that I am all things natural. I'm very much into essential oils. I always use my essential oils to deal with anxieties, and it helped me. A matter of fact, I always tell people that if you are having low levels of anxiety, where it's not affecting your family life, you don't feel you're in danger, harm to yourself, whatever, that it's okay for you to pursue other therapies. Some of them are, I think they call it CBT therapy, where you go see a therapist and they work on behavioral modifications. Always encourage people to see their practitioner first. But if you're wanting to try something holistic, I'm going to do another video on things that I use that even helped me through the process, that were a lifesaver for me. But I want to talk about when I threw in the towel. It just was months and months later, and I was not getting better. And it was hard for me to function as a mom. It was awful. It was just a rough time. And I prayed and asked the Lord to give me a release, because I just believed that, I couldn't understand, why can't I pray it away? Why can't I just trust in God for things? And why is everything so overwhelming? Does this have something to do with my faith? And he answered. And the same day I cried out to him, a lady rang on my doorbell wanting to ask about essential oils, something totally unrelated, and shared with me that she had been newly on this same antidepressant, in the same way related to a health issue, and they recommended that for her. And she said what she didn't realize, it was life-changing, because she always had some level of anxiety and wished that she had done it sooner. I cried that day. It was sent from God, and I felt a release, because I felt guilty. Why can't I just let my faith in God And why can't I be healed from this? And it was like, she said, he made the medicines. He made me this way. And he allowed those people to make medicines to help. And so I just had a release, and I began taking the medicine, and I had had it in my cabinet for months. And I began taking it next day, and I haven't been off of it since. Now, I will tell you, it was a game changer for me as a mom, because kind of the functioning low-level anxiety that I didn't realize had affected my family, affected my husband, where I always second-guess myself. If you asked me what I wanted to eat, I would get really anxious and be like, well, let's go here. No, let's go here. I would always change my mind. I had a ton of indecisiveness. I would think the worst. If a kid would get sick, they're going to die from such and such. I would have thoughts of the worst thing possible to happen. And it just affected my decision making. And it totally changed that. I am more spontaneous. I have more joy. I am more laid back. I would be very kind of OCD, cross that all lines, make sure, because to deal with my anxiety, I would just kind of be OCD and make lists and make sure whatever. And now I'm almost the opposite, where it's like, la-da-da. One of the side effects that it has had for me, which I was on 10 milligrams, which is kind of the lowest dose. I have gone down to 5. They claim that that doesn't work, but it's just enough for me. So it doesn't mean that I don't experience anxiety. It means that I do, but I can handle it, and I can talk myself out of things. It is manageable. It is not there all the time. In really serious situations where kids get hurt, I'm amazed at how calm I am. So I went down to 5 milligrams because one of the symptoms I had was lack of motivation. I just didn't want to get off the couch. And I'll tell you, dealing with that over dealing with severe anxiety, I'll take that any day. Some of the other things that people complain about are low libido. I haven't felt that at all. Or they say that they have weight gain. I have had that. And I'm about to have a huge life change concerning my weight, but we're going to talk about that on the next video. So you'll have to join me for that one, because there's going to be a huge life change for me coming up in the next month. But I just want to encourage moms, because when I first started researching it, I would go on YouTube videos and I would see people on videos and talk about, I'm taking this medicine, and there would be all this crazy stuff like, I'm having severe panic attacks and it's just gotten worse. Well, I will tell you, when I first took it, and they tell you when you first take SSRIs, which is the classification of Lexapro, and Lexapro is used because it's a little bit cleaner drug than Paxil, as I understand it. I'm no physician, but it's a little bit cleaner, less side effects. And they will tell you that when you're taking initially drugs for, like SSRI for anxiety, the feelings of anxiousness may get worse. I won't lie to you. The first 4 days were rough because I was already in a bad state with the vertigo. It was rough. But I just had to talk to myself. Exercise is key. You will not feel like it, and I want you to walk a lot. When you get so you're feeling overwhelmed, take a walk around the block. Use your oils. I'll talk about that on the next video. I used serenity oil. I used frankincense. I use an oil called Hope. I would have my husband roll it down my spine, and it did take the edge off. But exercise was key. Staying busy was key. Not just getting trapped in your thoughts. It was pretty intense the first 4 days, and then it tapered off. By week 2, you will notice a noticeable difference. And that's the thing, is that people don't take it long enough to make it over the hump. So I would encourage you not to be afraid that if you are a long-time sufferer, if talk therapy hasn't helped for you, if seeing a therapist isn't working, let it go and see if a pharmacological thing will work for you. It has been a game changer, as I said. I don't know if I will always be on it or always need to be on it. I take such a low dose, I don't know. I can just tell you for now, I'm grateful for it, even with the 12 pounds that I put on, and I don't need to put on no more weight, but I would take that any day over being functional and present with my family. For for being spontaneous, being able to go out and be present and not trapped in my thoughts and thinking of what if this, even the anxiety would present with, trying to control my kids out in situations, where, oh, such and such is going to act up. We just need to leave right now because so-and-so is going to happen. I don't have that anymore. So I just want to send love to you moms who are out there that may be struggling with anxiety. I know how that feels. I know how overwhelming it is. Go talk to somebody. There are people for you to talk to. There are solutions. Don't be afraid to take something if you feel like, once I felt like I was not able to function normally as a parent, it was time out. It was time for me, and God gave me the release. So I want to be encouraging to someone. It's been good, and it's been a game changer for me, at least for me to see that I didn't have to lead my life that way. And I feel more sense of peace. It's not a kill shot. I don't not feel anxiety. It's just manageable, and I feel like a better mom. Like I said, there are other things that are going to be happening, really exciting in my life coming up. It won't surprise me if I will come to a place where I will not need it. But for now, it's a good thing. So I just wanted to encourage you all out there, because when I first started researching, the videos I saw on it were people who were just like, it scared me more not to take it. So it's been good. If you have any questions for me in the comments, drop something in the comments. If you have any questions for me, you want to DM me privately, go ahead. I'd love to answer any questions. But you all have a blessed day, and thanks for joining Mom Saving Grace.
Thanks for joining Mom Saving Grace. Like, share, and subscribe. Please join me in my next video where I discuss my big life-changing secret.